Oh my gosh, it is so freaking cold. Yeah, there may be some light out there, but oh my God. And my daughter, they got home and stuff, so she was telling me something this morning, and it's 6 degrees there. Yeah, we got a major cold front that has moved in. She's 6 hours away, but oh my God, it's so cold. And I don't know. I just don't believe anything, any of this stuff. I just don't believe anything. I think every single thing is completely artificial. It's like I'm in a dream and someone else has control over it. So it's just kind of weird. Like I said, like how is it that they change? Like how do they bring in this fake sun? How do they change? Like it just reminds me so much of Ed Harris. Now that I just watched Truman again the other day, cue in the sun. Bring on the storm. That's what I feel like. When I was watching it yesterday with my son-in-law, or the day before yesterday, I was watching it, and I was thinking about, it's kind of like the cabin in the woods too, because in the cabin in the woods, showing the controllers, and they're controlling everything in their environment, and they're bringing in the monsters, and they play little games and bet, like, oh, should we do the zombies, or should we do the zombies from hell? Should we do the merman? All of this stuff. That is what, these controllers are like. I mean, Hostel is real. That wasn't a movie that somebody made up. That is more of a documentary. Same with all of those hostels. That's what it is. Just, it's kind of, it is sad. I was going to say it's kind of sad, but it's really sad that, this place has brought so much kind of evilness out in people. But, they've got to purge it out, and they've got to heal, and they've got to, want more for themselves. Or maybe they'll just, stay in three-dimensional kind of lives for a long time and just play this kind of demonic part or something. But like these women who just became baby factories, just, to sell for parts and stuff. It's just, there's so much of that now. There's just so much sickness in this world. And it's all being purged out. But, and like I said, the people who are the most in it can't see it. They don't know how transparent they are. They don't know how easy it is to see through their games. And I've had so many people tell me, like, oh my God, as soon as I see this, I see right through the people's games. I see what they really mean. They say this, but they mean that. That's why it's so important to get to that point of being authentic, being true to yourself, and finding out who you are. Most people don't really understand that they aren't who they really are, that they're playing a part, trying to please somebody else. It is more like, being on script or being improv. If you're on script, you're playing the part that they want you to play. Once you go into improv, you're just being you. You're just being you. When you get back to that part where you kind of can resonate with how you felt as a kid, then you're finding more your true authentic self. You're getting more in touch with what is inside of you, your soul, letting your soul play its part in this world. And that is the whole thing with ascension, the whole thing of the realization of you are more, and getting in touch with that part that moves you into life in a higher dimension, a higher state of being, a higher state of mind. And that's how these other people who are trapped in this low vibration, oh, it's okay to hurt somebody if nobody's watching. Oh, it's okay if you date rape somebody, put some pills in their thing. They're not going to remember. All those kinds of people, it is up to them to, you can't get away with stuff. And you think like, oh, I can do this and nobody's watching. That's just is not true. And that energy is going to hold you back. It's going to hold you in this space, which, I consider to be hell. That's where I think it gets to that, where the demons in hell, because they like to participate in negative, kind of hurtful, hateful kind of ways to other people. Like they don't have, like if I do something that hurts somebody, especially if in my head, I think I hurt them, you know, spin out. But if they actually say, hey, you hurt me, I'll feel really, really horrible. You know, I don't want to cause people pain. I don't want to, I mean, I'll call somebody out, but to me, I'm not, that shouldn't be causing pain, even though it will cause pain for a minute. It is, it is something that we all need. We need to have the truth spoken. We can't keep playing these games and not telling the truth, because then it is a game. Like my mom doesn't see, Mom, you're allowing this. You are participating. She's not doing this to you. You're playing a role in this game that is irritating you. How do you stop that? What do you do to make it different? What is your soul telling you? Is your soul saying, you know, okay, listen to her for a half hour. After a half hour, cut her, you know, okay. Enough of the complaining. Enough of you, you know, being the victim. What do you want to do now? You know, how do you move out of that focus and move into what makes you happy, instead of just focusing on what makes you sad, what makes you mad? Like I've talked about this such a long time ago when I was talking about the flat earth stuff, and I had these people coming at me, and it was like, why do you feel the motivation? You need to go out and search people talking about it so you can find people who have opposite opinion of you so you can go in and attack them. Why would you spend your time and energy, your life? If life is a gift, which most people don't understand it is, if life is a gift and it's temporary, which everybody gets that concept, you know, but everybody lives in this like, oh my God, when's it going to happen? Like they're so focused on it, especially right now. Death, 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 death. But when you step back from it and it's not, you know, your number one focus, then you can actually live your life. And there is there's just it's just a completely different kind of reality, like not playing games and being honest, you know, with somebody. Like if somebody starts going on and on to me, you know, like poor them, I will say something, you know, like, well, it's up to you to change. Nothing's going to change until you change it. If you don't like how your life is going, what do you want to do different? How are you going to make things different? And I have seen so many things. I talked about this since the very beginning. I've seen so many things about relationships and being so out of balance. Well, that's the stuff that's going to come up to the surface right now, because most people did not get married for real, true reasons. They got married because, you know, they thought it was the right thing to do. They thought this person would make their life better. They thought that, you know, it was time to have kids or whatever. People have all these different reasons why they go get in these relationships. And then when the relationships fail, they see themselves as a failure and stuff. And that just perpetuates their own hate and anger towards themselves. But really, like I've said before, you know, we have to be taught how to learn to love ourselves and be our own hero before we go out and get into relationships. Otherwise, those relationships are there just to teach you how to value yourself. Just like I said, if you go get a job, you think, oh, this is going to be the best job. I got to have this job. Oh, I don't care anything about anything. I just want this job. Then you go in and that job teaches you that there's more things that you might want to know about a job than just like, I want this job because of, you know, it works with a certain group of people that I really think I would be good with. And then you go and work, but there's other issues. Well, that's not because, you know, you're wanting the wrong things. It is because you are learning how to love yourself and learning, like, what is it I really want? Do I really want, is that all I really want? Is just this? Or do I really want something that makes me feel good, that makes me feel secure, that brings me in security, like with money, like it gives me a lifestyle that I want, that I'm because it's all about your desires. Is when you are doing what is in your true heart, when you are living up to your potential, that is when everything will start happening that will feel like it is like a gift from the universe. But it's because you've stopped fighting the universe. You got the lesson. You realize, like, oh, I have value. Oh, I need to just be myself. I don't need to be like everybody else. I need to learn to love myself and accept myself. Then, your life goes in a completely more positive direction. Because as long as you're trying to, force this or force that, like I said, I was in so many different relationships, and they all just kept teaching me that I was with the wrong person. And I couldn't understand it for so long. Like, I'm a loving person. Like, what is wrong with me? And but then it is because those people were there to teach me to love myself. I was willing to put myself aside to please somebody else. And I had to learn to put myself ahead of other people. And, that's a challenge for a lot of people, to care for yourself before you care about other people. I'm sure even on an airplane, when the oxygen masks come, there's still be people who grab it and put it on their kid or put it on their spouse and not do themselves first, even though they tell you, do yourself first. Because it's just inside of some of us to care about somebody else, and it's really easy to be taken advantage of, especially if you don't have good boundaries and stuff. But that is why we have to reach our own highest potential before we start our families, before we start trying to figure out who do we want to spend our life with, who matches us, what is a good match for me. Not, oh, what could this person do, or whatever, the different reasons why we get into relationships. It's so variable. I can just, talk about my own, of just feeling like, that was going to protect me, or there was always something that I thought I needed, just like with this job. You think you need this, but really you're not completely in touch with what it is that you are here to do for yourself. You know what I mean? I think it makes sense, but I know I can understand what I'm talking about. Hopefully that it is making sense. But it is so much about you, empowering you. Everything that is happening is all to focus on you, to empower you, to learn to love you, to get in touch with you, to expand you. All of the things happening in this world, it is all to teach you. Whatever's affecting you is to teach you. And it's all to teach you to love yourself. Because once we all love ourselves and we're all in a healthy state of mind, then we can have the world that we desire, where we're not having to feel danger by other people. We're not looking for others to fulfill us. We're not, we can go out and do things and not feel like we're at risk for someone attacking us, because they wouldn't do that for their own selves, because they know, like, that's going to make me feel really shitty. It's going to put me in a dark space. Why would I want to do something to somebody that's going to make me feel bad? So see how it kind of gets in that little bit of selfish, but it's not selfish. It is all about your inner knowing, your what is that thing called? It is it's like your moral compass. It's figuring out how to set your moral compass. But it's all in this realization of yourself, the connection with yourself, and realizing how much more you really are. And that you have that God particle inside of you that just keeps trying to talk to you and give you guidance. But so many people, they just get caught up in this three-dimensional life, and like, I have control, and if I just do this, if I work hard enough, if I do this and do that, no, it's none of that stuff is going to do anything, because it's all fate and destiny. Everything is already planned. You're just there. It's like you're on a ride, a roller coaster. You can't just all of a sudden jump the car onto another roller coaster. You're on that track. That is the only track you are on. You don't have control like what people think. That is all you fighting yourself. That is you, your avatar, fighting your soul. You know, because your soul would be telling you, just relax, relax. It's all going to happen. Trust. You know, you're going to get what you want. And you keep pushing and pushing for something, then yeah, you may have some lessons in there to learn. Like, oh, this isn't what I wanted. I want something else. Because it's all to help you figure out what you really want. Everything in the world, everything in life is to help you figure out what do you really want and what is your real value. So anyways, I think I've done a lot of talking about that today. Hopefully it made sense. You know, anybody can always ask me a question. Like if I'm just really rambling and it's not making sense, because it makes sense to me. And sometimes I just keep talking to try and make it make sense, because you don't ever know, like the things that you can understand and see to try and explain them. Like I've said before, the words are very limiting, is to try and explain some of these concepts that, you know, you'll be shown. But the best thing to do is just connect for yourself. Connect to the supernatural that's all around you, and you will get your own guidance. You'll get your own inner knowing, your own visions, your own people talking to you. And you won't need to go and ask somebody else, like, well, how do you see things? What do you think is going on? What do you think I should do? How should I do this? You know, you'll have someone inside you telling you exactly what you need to do. It's just most people don't want to listen. They don't want to hear what their guidance is telling them to do. They think they have control, and they think, you know, the world's telling them what success is, what you know, having it all means. And so they think, you know, I just got to follow that. But you can't take your cart off of one roller coaster and move it on the other. So you're just fighting. You're on that path, but you think that you can control it. Like, oh no, I'm going to turn this way. I'm going to go this way. So you stress yourself out. Like, if I just do this, then I'll get this. If I do that, then no. What's going to happen is going to happen. The way it's going to happen, it's always going to happen that way. So just get that in your head and then relax and let it happen. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.